Hey, is that Greg?
It is, man. What's going on?
Hey, not much, man. This is Levi calling from Sticks for Stones in Brisbane, Australia. Yeah, not much is going on, man. How are yourself? How are you yourself?
I'm good. It's like 11 p.m. I'm in London right now. Hanging out, talking to you.
Oh, cool. As well, it's 9 a.m. here in Australia, and it's already really hot, so there you go.
You know what, man? It's fucking really cold here. It's fucking, as usual, gray and shitty and miserable in London. And I was thinking earlier today how much I would like to be in Australia right now because I'm sure it's fucking nice.
Well, I'll skip right to that question. Is there any plans to tour with either your new band, The Black Queen, or Dillinger Escape Plan this year?
We have no idea, man. I don't know. We're trying to, we're kind of taking things as they come with, the Black Queen. I have no idea what to expect, whether or not anyone, it still trips me out that anyone cares because this has been like a labor of love for us, like behind the scenes for so long now. We've been working on this record for like 5 years, so the fact that people are starting to hear it and react favorably to it is just so surreal to me because I can't. Like I said, some of these songs have been finished. I mean, like fully finished, like mixed, finished for like since before the last Dillinger record came out. So it's really weird for people to even be hearing it at all. So
yeah,
if people want us to come, we'll come. Man. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be awesome to see you guys again. I only got sent the album about 2 days ago, so I've only had a little bit of time to absorb it. But from what I've heard so far, it's a great album. It's just so different from what you do with your other bands, Dillinger Escape Plan and Kill or Be Killed. What was the inspiration for this one? It's definitely kind of atmospheric, somewhat electronic. What did you have in mind, and how does this differ from writing with Dillinger?
I mean, I've always had like a bunch of stuff lying around throughout the years that I was working on that I just couldn't use for anything, and I knew that over time. I started knowing around like 2007 that I was kind of starting to accumulate things that I wasn't going to be able to use in Dillinger. And then when Kill or Be Killed happened, I mean, obviously that wasn't the place for that kind of stuff either. And at the time, it was like a lot of like kind of like shoegazy, like My Bloody Valentine type stuff. And then that ended up, a lot of that stuff ended up mutating into things that are on the Black Queen record now. So it just was more or less, you just hang on to stuff until you figure out where, where the vessel is going to be for you to be able to use it, or if you have enough of it, the vessel kind of creates itself, over time, instead of trying to force it into something where it wouldn't have any business being, So it just kind of naturally evolved, man. Like I said, there's things on the album that are derived from fucking, things that I had back in like 2007. So it's just like, it's just enough time went by that I found the right people to work with and had the right output for some of it.
Yeah, I remember I was talking to Devin Townsend a little while ago, and he said the older he gets, the more he gets attracted to, ambient styles of music. Do you feel that's the same with you, like compared to when you're a young, angry teenager? Do you think it's kind of different now, your musical mindset?
Yeah, I think I went through like a big cycle. I think when I was young, I listened to like a lot of that kind of stuff. Like I couldn't at the same time that I was listening to like metal and thrash and death metal and grunge and punk and all that stuff. And then I was listening to a lot of urban music too, just because growing up in the U.S. and like a city, you're constantly around urban music too. So all those things sunk in at an early age. And then I think in my 20s, in my early 20s, I just got away from it, and I was, because I was so immersed in the Dillinger Escape Plan and like the world that we were involved in, that you just kind of end up in like this, in a bubble. And then as I've gotten older and you're not as pissed off all the time, I think like a lot of that stuff started to, you make music and you listen to music that's reflective of where your headspace is. So, as you get older, you have such a larger dynamic range emotionally than just fucking piss and venom all the time.
Sure.
So I think it just naturally happens. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing when people get older and they explore like wider ranges of emotions. I think it's bad when they don't because it shows me that they're like emotionally stunted or something.
Yeah, and Dillinger shows are just so over the top. You know, you must be getting injured, you know, every night of the week. Do you think in 20 years you're still going to want to do that, or are you going to focus more on, you know, Black Queen style music?
Yeah, I mean, I think as long as everything's honest, you know, that's the thing. I don't ever want to be like a theater act. If I wanted to do theater, I would just go do theater. You know, I don't want to be like, oh, hey, well, this is what the Dillinger escape plan is supposed to be. So yeah, I need to put this costume on and jump off of things and, you know, throw equipment off the stage and scream at people. And, you know, if I'm doing that, I want it to be natural because it still feels exciting and still feels good. Should do. I don't want to start to resent something that I'm in. You know, I'm not worried about genre. Like, I'm not worried about an audience. I'm not worried about whether someone's going to like or dislike what I'm doing. Because I know that if I'm honest with myself, that you'll be successful at what you choose if what you choose is an honest reflection of where you are. So as long as you know, it still feels pure to me, then yeah, I still want to do it.
Yeah, one of the best albums as well was Lamb of God. Last year was Lamb of God's new album. I loved it. Sturm Drung, I believe it's called. And you featured on one of the best songs on the album, Torches. How did it go recording with those guys? And have you had a chance to play it live yet?
No, we're talking about doing it in L.A. They're playing L.A. on that tour with Death Heaven on, it's like a week from now maybe. And I was just talking to Randy the other day. I think we're going to end up, maybe we're going to do it for the first time there. But that was a really cool experience. You know, I mean, Randy and I, you know, obviously knew one another, and he was tracking with the same producer that did the Killer Be Killed record. And, you know, he was just like, hey, man, do you want to come into the studio? I have a part that I think you could write something cool to. And we literally came about, like, in, like, fucking an hour, man. Like, I was just like, send me the song. I wrote the lyrics, like, at my laptop at my dining room table, like, fucking 10 minutes before I got in the car, and then just, like, sent the fucking email to Randy so he had the lyrics, drove to the studio, and recorded it. Like, it was, like, the quickest thing I've ever been a part of, and then I didn't hear it again until, you know, it pretty much it came out, and which is, you know, honestly pretty surreal to be a part of because they're such a massive band. You know, it's just weird to be on a record that's that big of an album.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And pretty cool that Chino was the other guest vocalist on the record too, which is a cool honor to have the only two guests be me and Chino. That's pretty good company to be in.
Yeah, and speaking of Chino, I was looking at some of your stuff on YouTube, and a lot of people compared the Black Queen to his side project, Crosses, and a lot of people said how awesome would it be if you and Chino did a song together. Would you ever consider something like that?
I'll see him tomorrow. He's here too. He's in London right now doing press for the new Deftones record. So we've obviously done, you know, we did the Deftones Passenger song on stage like 30 times. So I would love to. Like, I would love to do something, you know, together on the same song. I think there's a lot of our fans are like, there's a big cross portion of Dillinger and Deftones fans. I think would be pretty stoked if we were to do something together. But I mean, that's, you know, it has to be the right thing, the right time. There's a lot of things that can happen. But I mean, if he were down, I'd be down. You know?
Yeah, for sure. I talked to Max Cavalera as well a little while ago, and he said he's really keen to get back up and running again with Killer Be Killed. I know you're really busy at the moment, but is that on your horizon?
Yeah, man, we talk about it all the time. I text with those guys like every day. We're just trying to figure out right now where the hole is, you know, in all of our schedules to be able to, you know, get together. I just saw him pretty recently. I've talked to Troy within like the last couple of weeks. And it's just, like I said, man, it's just a matter of looking a few months ahead and being like, hey, do you have off during this time? And then it's, oh, I've only got 3 weeks off. So like, okay, what can we do in 3 weeks? You know, I guess we should probably try to write a few songs, and then, you know, when's the next time you have off? And we just keep doing that. So I don't know if it's going to be possible in 2016 to record one, but I would like to. I think we would all like to. It's just a matter of whether or not we have the actual time to do it and still do our other commitments, because I know Mastodon's going to start writing soon, and Dillinger's writing right now. I mean, the writing has already happened. I've got like 9 hours of riffs lying around. Like I've literally got a fucking Logic file that's 9 hours long. It's just riffs that I have to look through and figure out which ones are good and which ones suck. And we'll start getting that ball rolling sooner than later, probably.
Yeah, and how do you go about recording 9 hours of riff? Do you just kind of sit there and riff out and, sift for gold? Is that basically the process?
No. It's been put together over like a year and a half. You know what I mean? You just wake up in the morning, you've got one in your head, you get it down, and then you hit save, and then 7 p.m. comes and you've got like another one that, you throw that one down and hit save. And I'm too ADD to open up a different file, so I just keep the same file open. So right now it's just like this 9 hour long file of riffs that I don't even remember anymore. So they might, like I said, they're probably 80% up and are probably not good anymore. Everything you do is good in the moment, or else you wouldn't do it. But if I look through them, there's probably some keepers in there.
Oh, yeah. I know the feeling. I write songs sometimes myself, and I hear it at first. I'm like, oh, it's a masterpiece. And I come back a week later, I'm like, oh, what a piece of shit. But,
this is the heaviest thing anyone's ever heard, and then you come back. Yeah, I mean, I think that's important, though, man. If you're not excited about, everything you're doing, no one bats 1,000, So the more important part is being able to be, being able to self-edit. That's the hard part, is being able to understand why something isn't that good, that you might have originally been excited by.
Yeah, I know I've been in bands before, and sometimes someone will have, like, an idea they think's really great, and the rest of the band, hates the idea. Do you ever get people saying they don't like that idea, and will you ever take offense if, people don't like the idea you come up with?
Yep. Oh yeah, I mean, I think we're a little bit more peaceful about it. At the Black Queen, we're a little bit more. I think the Black Queen and Killer Be Killed are both very diplomatic. We're a little bit less. We have less history, so we don't. But Ben and I and Dillinger were very. We take each other's criticisms a little bit more personally. So I think we fight, more than I think we're a little bit harsher with one another. I think. Just because we've known each other for so long.
Yeah.
So it's everything, we're more sensitive. It's a bad combo because we're more sensitive to criticism, but we're also harsher with one another. So it ends up being like, we can get in a fight really easily about a song. It goes from being like a disagreement to a fight, pretty quickly. So you try to avoid that.
Yeah, no worries. I've got another question. Feel free not to answer this one, but I know a few years ago, Phil Anselmo said you're carrying the torch for Pantera, and I know personally Pantera are one of my all-time favorite bands. I know we came out with that comment recently with the whole white power thing, and it was stupid, and I want to forgive him because, their music, is in my top 3 favorite musicians of all time. What's your opinion of it? Should we forgive him? Should we let it wait? It looks like he's already had a lot of shows cancelled because of it. You got any views on it?
I mean, I think it's unfortunate just because, metal, has a hard enough time. Like, metal and rock has a hard enough time as it is, I think, it's seriously, outside of itself, and a lot of the reason why is it's people, stuff like this happens, and then the outside world just sees that, so you try to leave, rock and metal or just something outside of rock and metal, it's like, people treat you like you're an actor that came from porn, or like you're an athlete that came from fucking professional wrestling. They act like it's like a fucking circus, and like the reason they act like it's a circus is because the only thing that people see outside of it that don't know anything about it is, they hear something like this. They hear, oh, this guy from this band just fucking flew high on stage with all like power, and then everyone goes, oh, of course. That's what they did. That's what he did. He's in a fucking heavy metal band. They're all a bunch of fucking retards. That's what people say, like, outside of it. So it's really bad for, the genre, but it's just offensive, man. Like, I don't particularly care whether he gets forgiven or not, because I don't give a shit about anything he's done since Far Beyond Driven. So I truly don't care, man. I don't pay attention to it. I don't know anything about. I just feel bad on a humanistic level. I don't care about whether he gets forgiven or whether or about Pantera or anything like that. I just care that on a humanistic level, there's people that are probably fans of him, you know, that are fucking supremely bummed out now. And not just bummed like the way I am or the way you are, but bummed because it directly, personally offends them. You know, like they're black or they're Jewish or, you know, they're Asian or they're not fucking white. You know, it's nothing. It's fucking 2016, man. Like, you might as well fucking yell out like fucking, you know, burn faggots at the stake, you know, while you're on stage or something like that. It's just like, come on, man. You know?
Yeah, man, I fully agree. I do have a heap of more questions to ask you, but I've been told it's a 15-minute time slot, and I don't want to keep the next people waiting, so I better wrap it up now. But it's been awesome talking to you, man. If you come down, I'll be up the front row banging my head the whole time, so I can't wait for that.
You will, dude. Thank you, man. Yeah, we'll be there in one. I'll be there in one shape or form sooner than later. So hope to see you soon.
Yeah, cool, lads, man. Great talking to you, and have a good day.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Bye.
To make another